Ready? Spot on, eh? Up to daisy.
What's the name of the instrument again?
The Melodian, be very technical now. Welcome back to the Fortress Podcast, episode 15. Last week we had Keane O'Mahony on, which was a great pleasure. But now it's even better because the Premier League is back. We're talking football again. Premier League. Lucky for us, our beloved Liverpool were the first team back in the Premier League against Bournemouth. Do you know what? It was a very good game for the neutral, I think we can both say. Bit nervy towards the end. Would you say that?
It was a proper Barclays Premier League opening day fixture. Liverpool had lots of control for the game, but when they didn't, in the very few times they did lose control, Bournemouth capitalised. I think you have to give credit to Bournemouth, Areola, Semenyo, especially for him to bounce back after the abuse he got, which we condemn. But yeah, no, a very, very good game. You can't ask for much more than 6 goals in the opening day of the Premier League. 8 o'clock kickoff, Friday night, just classic, really.
I mean, other big results out there. Sunderland beating West Ham 3-0. I think West Ham or Wolves are one of the two Prem teams that are going to go down.
See, I think that's surprising because of the scoreline. I think they had very similar XG, and yet Sunderland have scored 3. Sunderland are not going to score 3 goals every season, so Sunderland fans enjoy it while you can.
What's the keeper doing?
No, it's
the header, right?
It's dreadful.
Great header, but he's done as good as he can do from that distance. Yeah. It should not be going in. He's headed it from about 40 yards out. You know what I'm saying?
And Isidore's third as well. It's practically gone through his hands. I believe it was his debut. Hermanson. He was in the Premier League last year with Leicester. Had some very, very good games. He was a very, very good shot stopper, but he had an absolutely stinky debut. One to forget, definitely. And maybe Areola could be looking to replace him again. If
who knows? But I think West Ham were just poor. I mean, they were in it there for the first half. I think Sunderland kind of lured them into a false sense of security by kind of sitting back, absorbing pressure, playing like a championship side. Yeah. And the second half just absolutely just went at them. West Ham had no answer. Their keeper was shocking. But look, West Ham are poor. I think they could be going down, even though it's only one game week, so possibly premature.
Some other fixtures, you'd Villa at home to Newcastle United.
That was poor.
For lacking a true number 9, Newcastle looked unbelievably threatening. We're probably unlucky to score, and you could say that if they did have a number 9 like Isak, it would have been 2-3, 4-0, and also Villa had a red card. Konza was in my FPL team on a bench boost, and he got sent off. I was raging.
That's fantastic.
But yeah,
pure cinema.
Other
Spurs
fixtures,
3, Burnley 0. I'm not sure what to make of that because, again, it's Burnley, so you can't get too carried away. The same way we'll get on to City as well in a minute. They were good, though, I thought. Richarlison, pre-blood, the pigeon, he's back. Is this going to be a good season for Richarlison? Or is it lucky because it's Burnley?
It's a difficult one to say. Obviously, that their new managers and have them playing a different way, more controlled football. So maybe they'll lose that sort of attacking element. What you can say is that Solanke is probably the better striker. And they're probably not going to play.
I'm kind of sick of Solanke, to be honest. And
given the fact that they've just lost out in Eze last night, which is absolutely horrific.
I think we have to talk about that. How embarrassing for Arsenal.
Pants pulled down.
Daniel Levy, get him out. Arsenal have had their pants down. Arsenal are already 1-0 up on aggregate for the season, to be honest, with that. You see, my prayers go out to Ben Bowman and Seb on Spurs, what has gone on there? Spurs have been in talks for about 3 or 4 weeks with Eze as soon as they learned about the Maddison injury. And just dilly-dallying. Arsenal get the Kai Havertz injury news straight away. Yeah. Give us Eze. They've stolen it. It's embarrassing for a Spurs fan. And, it's happened again. Yeah. It's happened again.
Obviously, it's very, very good business from Arsenal to recognise that all these players got injured. It must be quite a serious injury if they've gone out and bought Eze. But also, I think that what if Kai Havertz hadn't got injured? Yeah. Eze probably wouldn't have been bought. So is he going to be a starter for them? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I would argue I would rather see Eze than Havertz. Whether he's better or not, I think everyone would rather see him. He's more exciting. Where
does he play though? Off the left?
No, on the 10.
I've seen that a bit on TikTok.
But he plays in the 10.
Who do you drop then?
Havertz.
What?
Havertz.
No, Eze.
No,
where does Eze play?
No, Eze is playing instead of Havertz.
In the 10?
Yes.
Bro, that's not going to work.
It is.
You'll have to drop one of Odegaard, Zubimendi, or Declan Rice. Who do you drop from that? They're not going to drop Zubimendi. They've just gone out and bought him for £16 million.
Okay, well in that case you put
Odegaard's the captain. Therefore you have to drop Declan Rice if Eze is in the. So I'd say you have to.
Then it would be left
because he's been absolutely.
Oh yeah, well definitely Martinelli. I think put him on the left, put Saka on the right, and then.
But look, Eze is a better 10 than he is a winger. I think.
No, because I've also heard news about. I think Jokeres will be kind of happy with the Kai Havertz injury news because, although I don't think Jokeres is fully fit yet up to Premier League fitness, so I think Arteta was going to maybe play Havertz in these more difficult games. At the same time, Manchester United away is a tough fixture on paper, so he trusted him there. But in his first season, I think Havertz was going to play a lot. So the fact he's injured now, does Gyökeres get all those starts, or do they go with, I don't know, who else do they go with up top? They have no, this is the whole issue. They need a striker, and they bought Eze.
I mean, I guess maybe you could put Marinelli striker, but that's just not going to work.
No.
Realistically, it has to
that.
be Gyökeres. But I just wonder, let's be real. His debut was not what he would have hoped for. I remember he had
so bad.
He had a couple of opportunities, told up the ball, fell over himself on the 18-yard box looking for a cross and went out for a throw-in.
Oh, it was shocking.
Just overhitting passes. Low-key getting bullied by, what's his name? Dilly.
I heard, he bullied Dillit 4 times.
No, let's be real though. It's only one game. I'm sure he will be a good signing, but it will take him time. The same way it's taking Ekitike and Frimpong and these Liverpool players.
Ekitike was very good in his first game.
Not in terms of quality, but in terms of adapting from a different league.
Yeah,
they're coming off earlier. Like even Gyökeres was hooked at 60 minutes. That may or may not have been due to his performance. Probably was, but they have to get used to fitness and intensity and quality. And there's so many different factors. I think he'll come good. But at the moment, I think them having to rely on an unproven striker is a bit of a worry. But Eze definitely helps.
I mean, since we're already talking about Arsenal anyway, and the game, I mean, Arsenal did win 1-0, but Man United looked way better.
Yeah.
Weirdly good.
In Bumo,
I mean, I've seen a lot of United fans on TikTok and Instagram saying, again, yes, you can be happy with the performance, but they're saying, they're literally war a trophy. You lost the game. you actually lost at home 1-0.
The angry Ginger clip?
No.
Getting out of tight situations 1-1.
Oh, I've got a call. Okay, yeah. Getting out of tight situations 1-0.
No, but that's obviously banter, but in my unbiased opinion, I know this is crazy now, Man United were the better team. They created more chances. I think if they had not had Raya, they lose the game 2 or 3-1. Cunha's
also low-key a penalty.
Half chance in the first half where he weaves in and out of the players in the 6-yard, shoots, and Raya just makes the most incredible save. Any other goalkeeper in the league, that's a goal.
I also think Cunha had a shout for a penalty. I mean, I know it wasn't given for whatever reason.
I don't know.
I'm
not sure about that one.
Unfortunately for us Liverpool fans, some positive signs coming out of Old Trafford there. So
yeah,
we'll see how close they're playing.
A few other fixtures, I suppose. We should probably touch on Wolves City. See, for me, I'm you can't get flattered because Wolves were on top of the game for 15-20 minutes. They got a goal that was ruled out. Then 2 quick goals from City, and that kills you, especially when it's Wolves. And did Haaland get 2 as well? I wouldn't get too excited. I mean, yes, they're okay. I mean, I also knee-jerked and got a Reinders straight into my FPL. I've also just wildcarded and I've put in Haaland and Reinders.
But all I'll say is I'm not worried yet. It's fine. It's only Wolves.
I think the same thing goes with as well with Forest Brentford. I think Brentford just looked absolutely dreadful. And I really do feel for Creevin Geller. I mean, he's finally gotten his wish of playing a first team football, but he's going to get relegated, unfortunately.
Am I right?
Okay, maybe not relegated.
Am I right? Did Creevin Geller go just before Thomas Frank jump ship?
He did, I believe. Yes. And now who's it? Your man? He's half Irish, half English. Very strange accent altogether. Keith Andrews, yes.
I
saw a few clips from inside training. He looks like a very good man manager, but I'm not sure about his tactics. He seems like a nice guy, but I'm not sure about his football IQ.
I know, but I think it's kind of people are unfair. If his name was Kitos Andros,
that's actually so true.
Would you be more he's good? Thomas Frank came through the exact same way. Brentford is like a cog that will keep ticking. They have they play the Moneyball system. The same with their managers. Thomas Frank came from being an assistant manager in the exact same position that Keith Andrews is in now. So they will be fine.
Do you want to talk about Chelsea Palace quickly?
I think 0-0 on paper is a very boring game, but
lots of storylines. You the Eze ruled out.
The Eze farewell.
You had the Eze farewell as well, clapping in front of the fans. You had the Mark Gay starting at centre back, still captaining the team, even though he's heavily linked to a move to Liverpool.
I don't know if he will.
Cole Palmer turning to Casper the Ghost. Estavo skying one into Rosed. What else? Robert Sanchez can't save a ball that goes right at him. What's new?
Enzo Fernandez was woeful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
from a Chelsea point of view, it's poor. Palace are a good side, so don't get me wrong there. But I think Chelsea are having similar problems to last year, where they are a good side. They are defensively solid enough, but they just can't break down these teams that kind of sit back, especially teams like Palace and your mid-table teams that are going to go to Stamford Bridge are going to sit back.
You have to respect Palace. They're a fantastic team.
Oh, they're a great team. I mean, on the balance of things, a draw may be fair, but Palace, I think if anyone could have won, Palace could have won. They had a few chances. They were hitting them on the counter. The free kick, which is utterly woke in my opinion, the fact that it was disallowed. I understand, right? The rule is there, so you can't be a metre from the wall, right?
But when did they ever employ that rule?
We've seen that rule so many times being used, or not being used. Where players are in the wall. How often do you see a a wall with 4 from the defending team and then maybe 2 from the attacking team, and they like duck, to kind of put the keeper off and things like that.
This happens all the time with rules, and it's the reason why the 8-second rule was brought in with goalkeepers, because the 6-second rule was it was a thing, but it wasn't practically.
I don't
used.
mind the application of the rule, but just a bit of consistency would be nice.
That's all we're looking for. PGMML. PGMML, if you're watching this, we're looking for some consistency. All right.
Looking forward.
The final game of the game week, just quickly, was Leeds versus Everton.
And we're actually not talking about how boring that game is.
I actually watched it. Leeds were very, very good. Can I just say one thing? Yeah, have you ever seen Tanaka kick a ball?
No.
Tanaka is a baller.
I've heard he's a baller, actually.
When I think Arsenal are playing Leeds next week, he's going to cook. He's like I think he's like a 6, but the way he was controlling the game, controlling the tempo against Everton, flying into tackles, breaking lines, taking shots out to the box, he was fantastic. And I think Leeds were maybe lucky to score because they couldn't generate.
The penalty was
chance really
split decision. I've heard as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I've seen it as well. It's not ideal. Like
I think the way I look at it,
I'm not angry with it.
Because for fan is that he puts his hand behind his back as an excuse to lean towards the ball.
Yeah,
it's like, if my hand's behind my back, then I'm just
exactly. Yeah, he's like people are saying, "What's he meant to do? Get not block it?" Yeah,
exactly.
He's used his hand.
Let it fly into the top corner.
Precisely. Looking forward to next week. We'll start with just the first game on the Friday, which will be West Ham and Chelsea, which is tomorrow or today if you're listening to this today. West Ham Chelsea. It's a weird one again because West Ham are poor. Although it is West Ham's first game at home. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea do on the road after a poor 0-0. They're yet to score a goal in the campaign, so let's see. Both teams.
You're violated. No, I can't lie. Full Crook scores in this game after I take him out of it. I'd be raging like. No, he's crap. I don't know why I fell for the whole West Ham trap, but they looked mediocre.
No, how have you fallen for this Full Crook trap? Out of everyone, you put him up top in your FPL. That is crazy.
Look, he's a value option.
Then on the Saturday, a big game. Unfortunately, it's at 12:30 though, and never back the 12:30 kickoff.
Gandhi.
We have Manchester City hosting Tottenham Hotspur. I think this will be a good test for both of them because we've seen them play Burnley and Wolves, who are both poor teams.
Yeah.
I think Spurs can get at them here.
I would like to agree with you. However, Burnley. See, I've drawn a comparison to the Sunderland versus West Ham game. Sunderland had like 0.6 xg and they scored 3 goals. And I know you can go xg whatever, but Tottenham conceded like 0.95 to Burnley, so they really should have conceded. What Sunderland used to concede, Burnley could have had 5. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think against a team as creative as City are now, with that runless performance against Wolves, defensively was absolutely outrageous.
Well, I think it could be high scoring in terms of you saying they conceded nearly 1 xg to Burnley, and having City be defensively good going forward, but not defensively great.
Maybe prone to a transition. Do you know what?
Yeah,
it would be great if Spurs had Eze or Savinho on the counter, wouldn't it?
Eze. Yeah, I think high scoring. I think like genuinely, I can see this being like a 2-2, 3-3 more.
I see 3-1 City.
3-1.
Haaland is going.
You think
score.
Simple City just win 3-1?
Yeah, it's a 12:30 kickoff. Like I think
exactly.
I think
it's
if
with
it's
Spurs.
8 PM. Actually, I remember last year this exact fixture, Spurs beat them 4-0. And that was at the start of their downfall.
Yeah, but Spurs...
That's absolutely not going to happen, I'm telling you.
Then
to be fair, though, I will say Spurs are City's bogey team, but it's going to be 3-1.
That's true as well. Then a really big game on the Sunday. And I'm not taking the piss here when I say Palace
Forest.
hosting Forest. The Mr. Marinakis derby. Like, genuinely, like, they hit each other. Nottingham Forest ratted out Crystal Palace UEFA, and they took... They literally... Thank you. I'll have Europa League spot, thank you. Like, they've had their pants down. Palace are... Like, Sellers Park is going to be rocking. The fans are going to hit each other. It's going to be such a good game. Like Murillo and Milekovic are going to be halving these Palace players. I cannot wait for it.
I'm very excited to watch the battles all over the pitch. I think of the midfield. I think of Wharton versus Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson potentially with the assist of the month or season maybe. We'll have to see. Last week for Chris Wood, first time ball, bang, threaded through lines so perfectly. In other battles, you're looking at like Gay versus Chris Wood. That's a fantastic battle.
That'll be a great battle.
Murillo versus Mateta. These are the battles that we live to see in the Premier League, and I'm absolutely buzzing. I will be watching this game.
I mean, also on a side note, Chris Wood, I think a lot of people didn't back him, say, for example, in FPL this season, because they're like, it's Chris Wood and, he'll fall off eventually. He still bagged 2 goals on the opening day, albeit against Brentford.
Yeah,
but
we have to take into consideration the opponents.
But it's Chris Wood, man. He's scoring goals, and he has been scoring goals the last 2-3 years consistently.
Wait, hear me out. Bring Chris Wood back to Nottingham Forest. Sorry, back to Newcastle.
They actually need him, to be honest. And then the big awaited fixture, Newcastle versus Liverpool. St James's Park will be rocking. The travelling Copites will be there in their numbers. Like the Isaac haters, will he, won't he? Will he be on the bench? Well, obviously not. Will he be at the game watching potentially? That would be like, I can already see Sky Sports panning in on him.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this. It's going to be carnage. Potentially game of the season. The potential it has.
Last year, I believe it was. Oh no! Last year it was a Wednesday night midweek kickoff, 8 p.m.
3-3 was it?
And it was 3-3. We went
Queven
3-2
Keller,
up, and then Queven Keller just watched it sail over his head basically. But that was probably the game of the season. I think there actually was a vote for it. I think it got game of the season.
Did it?
But even just off your own subjectiveness.
Yeah.
Like we go 1-0 down to the fastest goal scored in the league. Not fastest, most perfect goal in the league by Isaac. Crowder up for it. Then we go 1-1. Then they go 2-1 up with Gordon. He hits the Thierry Henry potentially. Then 2-2. Then we go 3-2 up and then 3-3. Fantastic game.
Yeah.
It looks like it's set to be another high scoring game, especially with Liverpool's vulnerability to transition / counter attack. However, I would say that Gravenberch will most likely start this game. And also,
we need Gravenberch to start. We need a physical presence in
think
there with Szoboszlai, I think.
I think the equalising Semenyo goal we conceded against Bournemouth, I think if Gravenberch's in that team, that doesn't happen because all of our players, bar our centre-backs, were in their box and Gravenberch just wouldn't allow that to happen.
In terms of other talking points, we've obviously got today the bad news that Jeremy Frimpong is injured for maybe 5-6 weeks potentially.
I don't think
it's still the end of September.
Oh,
yeah. the end of the
international break. So like 3 weeks maybe.
Well, a month basically, right? So the question is, who do you put it right back? So
I think you put Szoboszlai in there.
No, I don't think so. So Connor Bradley is the choice to think of straight away.
He's still injured.
No, he's back.
He's coming back from injury.
He's back. But again,
you cannot drop him into Newcastle.
That's what I'm saying. Not match fit, and you don't want to rush him back and get him injured again.
Same with Joe Gomez. He's also injured.
In this, no, he's not.
Coming back from injury.
No. Joe Gomez is.
He's not match fit.
He's the choice to start.
He's not match fit.
He is match fit.
He's not.
Okay, he's not 100% match fit. He's 90%. You need. I'm sorry, St James's Park away. You need a defender in there. Joe Gomez. He'll bring that physical aspect. He's been there. He has done in these big games, albeit. He has a mistake in him, which isn't. Look, it's not ideal. We have so many injuries at right back at the moment.
Throw back to Napoli,
but I think you can't. This is not the game to be pissing around having Szoboszlai play right back or Jones or any of that bullshit. Put a defender like Joe Gomez in there. He'll be okay.
Obviously, you got this. Son. Obviously, you didn't watch the preseason for Liverpool because you're a plastic fan.
Yeah, he went home in injury. I know that.
No. I'm talking about Szoboszlai here. Szoboszlai played. He had maybe 3 or 4 appearances at right back. And what I think is so underrated about Szoboszlai is his pace, his power. And his aggression. Do you know, he reminds me a lot of Luis Diaz if he was like a box-to-box. He absolutely has those capabilities to play right back. And when you think about it, really just how different is the demand of a box-to-box to a right back in a game like that, like Newcastle away, given the circumstances. These are professional footballers and ultimately playing in the 8 or playing right back really isn't worlds apart. And maybe you can nitpick if you're playing against the absolute best team in the world. Dare I say it's only Newcastle, and
it's not only Newcastle.
They're making up a rivalry that doesn't really exist. But I think that only because of the circumstances they will turn up in St James's Park and the fans, the Isaac's transfer saga and all of that.
The biggest game of the year usual, for us. It's Monday night. That's what it is.
Yeah, for them it's Monday.
No, like I still disagree. I think Szoboszlai, you can say yes, he can be fine at right back. We need to match their physicality in midfield. Dare I say, Florian Wirtz to potentially be dropped for the game just on a physical aspect that he may not be up to Premier League the standard yet, and to drop him into a game away St James's Park when they've got Joe Linton and Bruno G in midfield. We need Szoboszlai in there running and being physical. We need Gravenberch in there, probably Macassar, who's also a dog, he'll fight. So that's what another reason I don't want Szoboszlai at right back. And Joseph Gomez will just, he's a defender, he's physical, he will bring it. Yes, I know he's a little bit suspect sometimes, but you need a defender in there. St. James, you need a defender. That's it.
That's not how we play,
brother.
We
conceded 2 goals last week because of that.
You haven't been watching the game.
I can't afford NFC TV Go.
What? No, the Premier League games, bro.
There's been one game.
What we do is even the preseason highlights and stuff. You can see we have 2 centre backs. Kirkhead's to the left, and recently he's been almost playing as a centre back.
Kirkhead's suspect as well.
He's been playing very, very deep, and he's flying to challenges. We need more of that against Newcastle. But then Frimpong.
I agree with that.
Frimpong is the one who gets the width. He gets the height. He's bombing on. Do you think Joe Gomez will be making overlapping runs for Salah? Absolutely not.
We don't need overlapping runs.
He's the definition of zero goal threat.
No, we don't need that.
He's never scored a professional goal in his career.
Are you listening to anything I'm saying?
Which is why Szoboszlai is right back. because he can kind of
my
replicate what Arne Slot wants from Frimpong.
I don't care about scoring goals. We need a right back who can defend. Now I know that isn't necessarily Joe Gomez either.
Yeah. Do you remember Napoli
No,
win?
I know it's not fully. I know it's not our fucking
or
philosophy.
Do you remember Brighton away in the FA Cup?
I've had enough. I've had enough of this
Ice
conversation.
Spice?
I've had enough of this conversation.
I've had enough of you, mate.
I've had enough of you, dope. We'll see now when Joe Gomez starts and drops 10 out of 10. You'll
well,
be sorry.
In other news, I feel like we should probably address the Isak transfer saga, which is kind of dragging on still. I know a few journalists such as Craig Hope have said, "Oh, the message from top down is that
I mean, I
Isak
think he's
will be staying at the club."
I think so.
You also the club statement saying that, like, a move is going to be facilitated unless X amount of demands or circumstances happen, and you'd imagine that means bringing in a Johan Vissa, or they've recently been linked to Jorgen Strand Larsen from Wolves. Which
What about Vissa and Strand Larsen potentially? I mean,
no, I think they're looking for both.
They
of them.
should
I'm not sure
get
if they
both.
play together. If only they had Ekitike, man.
But
well,
Isak,
you're having none. Bang.
have both. Isak, I think he's made a right meal of the situation. So fair enough. It happens all the time when these big players want to move away from quote unquote smaller clubs to these bigger clubs. Like unfortunately, it happened to us where Liverpool are second, third, fourth biggest club in the world, but unfortunately they're bigger like Real Madrid, and that's where Trent went, and he did what he did, but Real Madrid took him on the free in the end. Whereas Isak now wants to come. We do want him, but do we want to pay 140, 50 million for him when we don't need a striker? I mean, I feel sorry for Ekitike in all of this. He's coming in, he's done a good job already, and we're looking at the striker.
Isak playing together.
I would rather Gahey than Isak, and now Isak looks like he's going to be stuck. Apparently he's been demoted to playing with the under 21s potentially for a while, or the under 23, sorry, whatever team he wants to play with. He's kind of cooked. I think like where does he go from here? Does he I'm sorry.
No, I think
Mr. Eddie Howe, can I train with the squad?
Like, surely you just at this point you have to hand in your transfer request.
That's not how it works either, though.
But I think he loses like millions upon millions, and his agents lose millions if he does so. But no, I think it really can be as simple as you have a player worth lots of money. This player very evidently, publicly, with his Instagram post, does not want to play for your club anymore. Wishes for a change. The same way when he was at Sociedad for 3 years, he wanted to change. He's been at Newcastle for 3 years, he wants to change. He got his move from Sociedad to Newcastle, give him his move from Newcastle to Liverpool. I also think it doesn't bode well for future prospects looking to come to Newcastle.
Do we want him if he's doing that kind of behaviour? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the level of
Galacticos.
No, listen, the level of hypocrisy is crazy. Vissa is currently doing the same thing. He's blacked out everything on his Instagram. He's removed all associations and ties to Brentford. Gyökeres did the same thing with his move to Arsenal, and the only reason he didn't get as much hate was because there was a so-called gentleman's agreement. And based off of Isak's Instagram post, it seems likely that Isak was promised something of a similar nature, that, if you play us last season with us and you score X amount of goals, whatever, we'll let you leave in the summer. And
well, hang on. That's not how it works. He signed a contract.
No.
He promised me this, but it's not in the contract.
That's not the point. And obviously, Isak's a bit of an idiot if he did agree to something very hush-hush.
Verbally.
But the same thing has happened with Gyökeres, and this guy was not getting hated the same way Isak is getting hated. So,
as far as I know, the low-key deal that was made is that he was going to get a wage increase from the old sporting director, and then he left. New one came in and said, "You're not getting a raise," basically. But yeah, I cannot wait for that game. I just want to bring up a quick note before we finish as well. Divock Origi is looking for a move away from AC Milan. He's been demoted to the reserves. They said he's not part of their first team plans for the foreseeable future. He was loaned out a few times. He was at Forest. He got 1 goal for Forest last season, or the season before. Sorry, he didn't play any football last year. I feel sorry for him. Origi, you're welcome back to Liverpool anytime. We're looking for a man off the bench to go hand in hand with Chiesa. Potentially, Newcastle could look at Divock Origi.
He seems like such a Newcastle player. It's reminding me of like a Callum Wilson off the bench type job. Like
Alan Saint-Maximin. His name's Saint-Maximin. I don't know why I said Alan, but
I think it is Alan.
It couldn't be.
I think it is.
He's like,
just a French guy called Alan.
He couldn't be.
Fucking Alan.
Do you have anything else to add about this Premier League?
I am just very, very excited for Monday night. You better be tuning into it because it's going to be an all-timer if you're a Newcastle fan. If you're a Liverpool fan, it's another game, another 3 points.
Honestly, just I'm so happy that Premier League is back. We've got literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You got football. It's fantastic. And obviously M&F is back. Sky Sports, Gary Neville and Cara having the crack. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Also, Gary Neville's predictions. See them. He's so deluded every
For what?
season.
For the game week or for the season?
So they do like season predictions. I can't remember all of them. I haven't actually watched it, but what I did see is that he did his one to watch for manager. He said Ruben Amorim.
Oh my god.
He does this every season. He said Ten Hag. He said Ollie. He said Michael Carrick. At one stage probably. I'm not sure. Like he's just so biased. Like I think top
David
four.
Moyes.
I think top four at this moment in time. Ruben Amorim.
It's a very good impression.
For me, you can't do it, can
You might have chosen the wrong club.
Anyway, that is all we have time for. If you did enjoy the podcast, make sure to like and rate us 5 stars on Spotify, and make sure to follow us. Subscribe on YouTube.
And also, as per usual, leave a hate comment if you hated this video.
Get at the hairline. Anyway,
Absolutely not.
and we'll see you in the next one. Good luck and thanks. Bang.
That was a very good podcast.
Some good discovery. He should debate.
We actually